Actually, tomscott riding the world's fastest train.
Were going to be the future. Television shows would film breathless reports on the latest trial. When I was a kid, magnetic levitation trains, maglevs, were going to be the future. Television shows would film breathless reports on the latest trials in Germany or here in Japan, promising unbelievably fast and smooth travel between faraway cities. But decades later, the only actual high-speed maglev service in the world is in Shanghai, China, which is fast, but it's almost a gimmick. It only goes 30 kilometers, it loses enormous amounts of money every year, and not many people use it. I thought that maglev was one of those technologies like Concorde that we thought were the future until they weren't, and now there's just abandoned test tracks and the dreams of the past. Which is why I was very surprised when a local producer here in Japan asked me if I wanted to take a ride on the new maglev.
Nice.
Because it turns out Japan has had a test track for years. It carries passengers because every so often they will open their tests to the public with a lottery for tickets. And this test track is already longer than the entire Shanghai maglev system. The plan is that it'll be part of a 285-kilometre route taking 40 minutes, which is less than half the time of even the bullet train, with a cruising speed just over 500 kilometres an hour. 90% of that track will be in tunnels, and that's under construction now. Forgive me for getting excited, but the future appears to be arriving, and I'm going to take a ride on it. But first, the team here said they'd let me stand by the track as the maglev goes past at speed.
Standing there.
この山梨では、1997年から、26年前からですね、走行試験を行っております。現在までこの山梨で、累積の走行距離が430万キロ、地球一周が約4万キロですから、約107周分の走行試験を行ってまいりました。
And that's the maglev. Wow. So it's going to accelerate, and then they're going to bring it back at full speed into that tunnel. 500 kilometers an hour.
It has to be streamlined. So
that accelerates so quickly. I don't know if that comes across on camera, but a normal train would have started so much slower than that. It's already doing what, 30, 40k in a few seconds. That would have pushed you back in your seat. Wow. Okay. Now we wait for it to come that way.
まず車両には超電導磁石という強力な磁石を搭載しております。一方、軌道側ガイドレールと言っておりますが、こちらには地上コイルと、これは推進コイルと浮上コイルという2種類ございますが、この超電導磁石と浮上コイル、推進コイルとの間の磁力の力で非接触で走行するシステムです。
Won't lie, a little bit nervous. I know I'm safe, but there's a reason I'm not allowed behind this line. It's about maybe a kilometre to that tunnel mouth, maybe a little less. And the train's now coming towards us, 500 kilometres an hour, which means it's going about 1 kilometre every 8 seconds. It's nearly here, apparently. They've just told me it's nearly here and I can't hear a thing.
Is it?
Oh, I can see a light. I can see the train coming. I can see headlights. All right. How fast is 500
F1
kilometres?
car. Yes. Very quick.
I hope that came across on camera, because you hear nothing and it looks so far away and it looks so unthreatening, and then it is there and this wall of sound hits you. That's incredible. I don't have words. It's my job to have words for a moment like this, and I don't. All right, it's going to come to a stop. I'm going to get on it. We're going to ride at 500 kilometers an hour.
今までですね、様々な課題について、取り組んでまいりました。まず最後の課題としては、車上の電源をどう確保するかという問題です。これは車両の中の例えばお客様の乗る空間の照明、それから空調装置、また超電導磁石を冷やす冷凍機と呼んでおりますが、こちらの電源をどう確保するかということです。従来の鉄道はパンタグラフで電源を取るということをしますが、リニアの場合は非接触で高速でしかも走るということで、そういう方針が必要であるということで、誘導終電という方法を考えました。これは地上側にあるコイルから、車両のお腹についているコイルに、電磁誘導で電気を取るというシステムです。
It smells new. There's sort of new plastics and fabrics in the air. Okay,
It's the
Here we go.
first class.
The acceleration is noticeable. Like, I got pushed back in my seat there in a way that I think I've only felt on planes. It's not full plane takeoff, but it's still way stronger than anything that I've felt in a train anywhere else. And we're already approaching 100 kilometers an hour. That is 100, and we're still accelerating. 130. So the wheels are going to come up soon. We're going to hit 150 kilometers an hour. The wheels are going to come up. And the noise goes away, and it's so much smoother.
And
200 kilometers an hour. And we're still accelerating. The only reference I've got now is the big screen, which is just counting down how long until the end of the track.
not that much.
It's a little bit bouncy, but nothing you wouldn't expect on a regular train. Okay, 300 kilometers an hour. We're at kind
It's a
of
speed of sound,
continental Europe high-speed train now,
330.
and we're still accelerating. I'm still being pushed back in my seat. Not dramatically, but it's still noticeable. I've never experienced this much acceleration for this long, and we're still going.
実験線での最高速度は、
Ayos,
2015
sign
年
na tree.
有人での走行で出した
Yung taparawa.
603km という速度が最高記録です。これは鉄道のですね世界記録ということで、ギネスにも認定されています。で通常の走行ですけれども、現在営業線は時速500キロでの走行を考えております。通常の鉄道車両というのは、レールと車輪の摩擦力で駆動力を伝えブレーキ力を伝えます。これはですね、例えば雨が降ると摩擦力が低下するということから、この500キロというような高速では安定して走行ができないというふうに考えております。一方、超電導リニアは磁石の力で磁力で走行しますので、この摩擦力に頼らない走行ということになります。ですので、従来の鉄道に比べますと急な勾配に強い、また加減速度も高い。
480, 490, and we ease off the acceleration.
Nice.
That's 500 kilometers an hour. That's the fastest I've ever traveled on land. And it feels like a train. It is a little bit louder than you'd expect from a train, but it's way less than an aircraft. You can still have a conversation. There's a bit of noise in the background, but it's still doing okay. But there's nothing uncomfortable about this. I was worried that at this speed I was going to feel like I was being jolted about, but this feels like a train.
地震が起きた場合や停電が起きた場合にも安全に止まれるシステムとなっています。こちらをご覧になっていただきますと、この超電導リニアの車両はこの U 字型のガイドウェイと呼んでいる構造物の中を走っております。また磁石の力で、常にこの中央に、制御をすると。でまた、この超電導リニアの車両が浮上する仕組みとして外部から電源を供給する必要がありません。速度が150キロ以上とか高い速度であれば、浮上し続けることができます。で速度が落ちてきましたらタイヤを出して通常通り着地をすると。ですので地震が起きたら早期に列車を止めに行くというシステムを使っております。
So, will it work this time? Because there is a long history of breathless British people travelling to other countries, getting excited about maglevs and telling the English-speaking world about a future that never comes. This feels like a video that the BBC could have filmed in the 70s or 80s. And the original opening date of 2027 has already been pushed back. The new date is still uncertain. One local government keeps raising objections to the construction. The future is not here yet, and we're not going to be seeing one of these in Europe anytime soon. But the track is being built. The technology does work, and it looks like the economics are sound because there's clearly demand for travelling between two major cities. In a few years' time, we might finally get to ride the maglev that the world was promised all those years ago. We are braking now, and it is still really strong. One last thing, they stopped the train in the middle of a curve. When I was coming through this at 500 kilometers an hour, it felt perfectly level to me. I felt nothing weird, but it turns out that actually The whole train is tilted 10 degrees. I'm having to brace myself to
What?
stop sliding down the carpet.
What actually
Thank you
happened?
very much to everyone from JR who's standing behind the camera there.
This is ending there.
This was a privilege. Thank you very, very much.
Something happened in the ending there. Que si vi ora, actually, con this was a got se, vamos a tener